Here we are, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Sector Formula 1 League 4 round 6 of this 24-round season here for season 14. And you joined us tonight at the Miami Autodrome with the top two in the championship starting on the front row, as we so often see is the case. Glenn ahead of Badman. Badman coming into tonight with a 15-point lead over Glenn, so tonight could be a big night for Glenn to try and pull back some of the points which he's lost over the last couple of weeks. And Glenn, the championship, the reigning champion, two-time champion, is going to try and get a bit of an upper hand here tonight, obviously. I mean, Badman's definitely had more consistent pace in qualifying and in the races, but Glenn 4.5 tenths clear in qualifying before this. So here we go then, lights coming on ahead. We're about to go racing here for the Miami Grand Prix here at Purple Sector. And it's lights out and we're underway. And looks like Glenn got a decent start. Badman slightly better maybe, but a little bit too far back into turn 1. As we can see G.C. looking around the outside of Badman there through turn 2, but nothing doing. Has to tuck in for the time being. We've got Mark there moving ahead of C-Mac up into 6th place as well. And T's got ahead of John up into 14th place, and John's dropped down to the last place there behind Scott, who seems to have made up a couple of places there, but Glenn's still leading ahead of Badman at the moment, with G.C. there in 3rd place, right behind these guys at the moment. As we can see, we've got C-Mac looking very close to the back of Mark in about for 6th and 7th places at the moment. Jaga also attacking on G.C. now, after G.C. was looking pretty hot on the back of Badman in the first few corners, but Glenn leading the race ahead of Badman as they come towards the end of the long straight here for the first time at racing speeds. As there they all are, you can see there we've got the McLaren of Mark looking to the inside there of their Pixel. We've also got C14 there moving ahead of Street Boy up into 9th place. As though Street Boy's not done yet, he's looking around the outside as we're riding on board with Matty, who's right behind these guys as they go side by side. In the end, Street Boy has to back out of that one, and C Faulkner is up into P9 as a result. So nice move there from C Faulkner on this first lap of the race, but it's Glenn leading by almost a second here over Badman, so he's already got the gap pretty comfortable at this point. But Badman's still within DRS. If he can hold on to that through the next zone, then he'll have a good chance of bringing this fight to him over the course of this first stint. Badman had to pit there looking to the inside there of Street Boy towards the end of the straight, but a little bit too far away just at the moment, and nothing doing there from those guys. Over the line to complete the first lap, there's Glenn, there's Badman, only half a second separating them as they come into turn 1 here on lap 2 of the race. As you see, there's the rest of the pack there filing through your shot. I just got to apologise to anybody watching this back afterwards. My voice is absolutely shot. I got a terribly sore throat. It's been getting worse and worse for the last few days, so I just got to put that out there. I am nursing it. I'm struggling along. I was very, very close to throwing in the towel and not doing it tonight. I tried commentating on qualifying, and it really wasn't working. But now I've actually got something to commentate about. I think it's going to be a bit easier. But yeah, I am struggling enormously. But anyway, G.C. still got Trigo on the back of him in the fight for 3rd place. As we can see, these guys leading a train of cars all the way down to Shinigami. You've got G.C. to Shinigami, 6 cars currently in a line here. You've also got Street Boy on the back of C Faulkner as well, Matty Pitt and Rexy Boy right there with Scott. So a lot of cars packed into a short space battling over 3rd place, but Glenn and Badman about a second separating them. But at the moment, Badman didn't get DRS actually through that latest zone. As we see there, Drago moving up into 3rd place ahead of G.C. and that is job done there for the Mercedes driver. You got C-Mac trying to defend here from Shinigami, who's looking down the outside, and Shinigami goes very deep there into that last proper braking zone of the lap, and did well there to avoid any further complications there. But Glenn and Badman still out the front. The gap pretty slender between those two at the moment, and the battle for the podium still rages on in the background behind them. There's C Faulkner running just ahead of Street Boy, Matty Pitt and Rexy Boy, with Scott also trying to bring himself into this fight, having obviously not qualified too well, but Scott in 13th place trying to get himself in the points. He's got the points paying positions now very much in his crosshair at the moment. I'm sure he'll be fancying a bit of that if possible sometime soon. But out the front, the gap under a second here between Glenn and Badman. Badman's keeping tabs with the race leader at the moment. As Dare Pixel here looking to the inside of G.C. into fourth as he's looking to try and make that move stick, and he's going to get that one done beautifully there. Just Dare Pixel up into fourth place. Matty in the meantime has moved ahead of Street Boy up into 10th place. Rexy Boy and Scott still waiting in the wings behind these guys in that battle at this moment in time. And Bad Man here has got the slipstream and the DRS down the long straight towards the final sector. And Bad Man having a little look to the inside into the corner, but not close enough to put him under any real pressure at this point. But Glenn's got to be keeping an eye on his mirrors here, because Bad Man seems to be a bit more confident in the race than what he was in qualifying. The gap was 4/10 in qualifying. It wasn't even close, but over the race so far, Bad Man has stuck to the task pretty nicely. As we see, White Shadow's got a 10-second penalty there for corner cutting. That's not what he had needed at this point. As we see T and White Shadow both in the pits here at the end of lap 3. Bad Man still all over the back of Glenn as they come through this long DRS zone. And he's going to get more DRS here down this straight, which will just allow him to put the pressure on Glenn a little bit more here. Gap's going to be about, I reckon, about 3/10 when they hit the braking zone. So Bad Man's now very much in striking distance. If he can keep himself at this range through the next DRS zone, we could see a change of the lead here, very possibly. They're coming through the stadium section now, and Bad Man definitely sensing an opportunity here. Let's get the tyre graphic up and have a look and see what tyres they're on. They're both on the mediums. G.C. the only driver in the top 10s who have gone for the soft tyres. Rexy Boy John and T have all started on the hards. But Bad Man here, very close. He's going to have a chance here down towards the final braking zone of the lap, and he's going to go lunging up the inside here as Glenn there going late on the brakes there. Bad Man's well alongside there on the inside of the corner. Glenn's going to get that better run on the outside though. Would have taken that better radius, and is going to have to be able to try and come back at him here down the start finish straight. But Bad Man's taken the lead for the time being. Now Glenn trying to come for the immediate comeback here into turn 1, but he's too far back, and Bad Man has completed that move into the lead of the race. The championship leader hits the front here in the early stages at Miami. Now Glenn's got to try and stick with him and make sure he's in striking distance to come back at him later on in the race, as G.C. coming into the pits to get those soft tyres off at the earliest possible opportunity here. And maybe that choice to go on the soft tyres was not the wise one. But Glenn's still on the back of Bad Man. Bad Man though has taken the initiative in the early stage of this race. We've got Draga still running in third place at a Dare Pixel at the moment, less than a second separating those two. Shinigami has still got Mark on him as well in that fight for 5th and 6th places. There's C-Mac just behind them ahead of C. Faulkner. And C. Faulkner a little bit too far back on him at this moment in time. But Dare Pixel here really piling the pressure on Drago, who went very deep there going into the stadium section. Riding on board now with the Alpine driver Dare Pixel as they come under the highway. And through into the final sector we go. It's going to be a good opportunity for Dare Pixel to try and make this move here for 3rd place. His teammate's only 2 seconds behind as well, Shinigami, so he'll be looking to try and get involved if he possibly can here. C-Mac in the meantime is trying to make the move here on Mark, and I think he might have got this one done here up the inside up into P6. Yes, he does. Dare Pixel getting ahead of Draga as well up into 3rd place, so 2 moves in the space of a few hundred meters there. Those two moves occurring within a couple hundred meters of each other, as we see Bad Man still ahead of Glenn in this fight for the lead. But Glenn is sticking to the task here. He's not allowing Bad Man to ride off into the sunset at all, and it's still very much race on here between the top 2 in the race and the championship, but they seem to have it to themselves at the moment. It's looking very much like these two are going to be in a league of their own for this season's championship. We know Ernie's able to take the fight to them, but Ernie not here tonight, and I'm sure raising questions over his attendance. But Glenn there a little bit too far away going to the end of the straight, and Bad Man for the time being holding on to it. Draga still a little bit too far away to come back at Dare Pixel, but I tell you what, he's sticking to it. Glenn a little bit too far away there on Badman at the end of the long back straight. Here they come through the final couple of corners now. And again, he's just not really in range at this moment. As we see C-Mac into the pits here at the end of lap 6. Scott's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So coming in for his first stop there, Scott, getting those medium tyres off, and he's going to have to come back into the pits at some point in this race. That's not gone well at all there for Scott. Glenn here once again using the DRS to get a little bit closer to the back of Badman. A little bit too far away though at the end of the straight as they come through the stadium section again. Draga also too far away on Dead Pixel at the moment to put him under any real pressure. See S14 is still well within striking distance of Mark, but not quite close enough as well. Matty Pitt challenging on the back of Rexy Boy, and we've got a driver out of the race and we got a safety car as well. So yellow dot at the middle of your screen, well, bottom right hand corner, middle of the map. You can see he's driving through turn 2, so safety car is out, and that's going to now open up the strategy a little bit here. The guys who haven't pitted are going to benefit. The guys who have already pitted are going to be a bit annoyed about that one, but what can you do? So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them coming in, and Badman and Glenn both coming in. Their Pixel I would have thought would be coming in as well. So will Drauga. Shinigami's also... oh no, Shinigami's staying out. So going for a bit of a gamble here is Shinigami, going for track position. But Shinigami realistically needs another safety car to come out to have a chance of making this work. Shinigami will be taking the race lead though, but with a considerably worse tyre delta than the drivers behind him. I think everybody else is coming into the pits, barring absolutely nobody except maybe the drivers who started on the hards. They might be able to still track position on some of the medium runners ahead of them. G.C.'s one of them, who seems to have gained a few places here under the safety car, not coming into the pits. But interesting roll of the dice there from Shinigami then. But the tyres are going to be in considerably worse state than the guys around him. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, as I need to go for a wee. Oh no! Well, looks like my golden opportunity to go to the loo has been compromised because my nana's in there, so that's not going to be happening. Well, if I get desperate, there's always a anyway, never mind. No, sorry, what was I saying? But yeah, lap 8 of this Miami Grand Prix here tonight. Currently got a safety car, so not really a whole lot going on at the moment. The two championship contenders are currently second and third places, Badman and Glenn. Currently in order of the championship as well. Badman will be looking to try and extend his gap to 22 points if he can win with Glenn in second place. Shinigami's now coming into the pits, so his gamble to stay out on the medium tyres with track position was short-lived, and he's now going to drop to the back of the train here. So that's I mean, to be honest, I don't know why he stayed out for that one lap. Are you done in there now?
Hi, darling.
Yeah, are you done in there?
Eh?
Are you done in there? I need to go for a wee-wee.
Eh?
I need to go for a wee-wee.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to...
Alright then, come on, I need to go to the toilet.
Matty, I need you.
Yes, my nana.
Yes, can you tell me how I turn the heater on?
I think it's on, Nana.
Well, you feel it and see. What is it?
We'll sort it out after.
Yeah?
We'll sort it out after the
Why
race
can't
is
you
finished.
do it now?
No, because I don't know how to do it. I don't have time to try and figure it out. Brandon, my radiator's still not on. Maybe it hasn't come on yet. Oh, right, well, that one, don't worry about. Nana, it's not on. Get the carers to do it, because they'll know. They know. Here all the time, I know. I don't know how to do it. Here we are then, guys, back underway here for the Miami Grand Prix here at Pebble Sectors. We've got Batman leading us around here on these hard tyres. Clen also on the hard tyres. We've got Dare Pixel, Drauga, Mark and G.C. And Mark on the medium tyres. G.C. on the hards. Like the 2 litres, but has stayed out on worn tyres, as we see Rexy Boy moving ahead of G.C. there up into P6 around the outside. Nicely done there. We've got Matty there battling with Scott at the moment as well for P10, and Matty seems to have got that move done there up into 10th place. Nicely done there from him. But we got Clen here still on the back of Madman as they come down the long straight towards this final sector here. We've got Drauga there slingshotting a move there on Dare Pixel up into 3rd place. G.C.'s got C-Mac on the attack here, looking to the inside now, but G.C.'s got DRS on his teammate Rexy Boy in front of them, but that's not going to stop C-Mac, who's down the inside there into the final braking zone, and he's made that move there as C-Mac up into P7 on his fresher tyres, only by 2 laps, but they're slightly fresher. And now C-Mac can try and chase down the other Ferrari as Rexy Boy, but G.C.'s not done yet. He's looking to the inside here into turn 1. Is he going to send one up the inside? They're going to be side by side into the braking zone, and G.C. just gets to the apex first there on the inside and gets that position back straight away there. So lovely move there from G.C. C-Mac now coming under pressure here from C. Faulkner as well in that fight for 8th place. Now C. Faulkner alongside and ahead there of C-Mac. So C-Mac, in fact, he's going to try and keep it around the outside here. He's still there as these two are still side by side. Great battling between these guys, and C. Faulkner with the inside line there for the left-hander, and C-Mac just a little bit wide there onto the runoff area, and C. Faulkner there brilliantly managing to capitalise on C-Mac's diminished momentum there, as we see now Matty Pitt is looking to try and attack on C-Mac as well here, but C-Mac is going to hold on, I think, ahead of the Mercedes, but He's in a bit of a downward spiral here as C-Mac over the course of this lap has lost 2 positions already here, so he'll be hoping that he can stop the rot here. He's looking around the outside now, C14, and through the stadium section. Oh, he had to rotate to the runoff there because he was off the circuit, and he was going to cause a he was going to T-bone into the side of the into the side of the V-carb if he stayed there. But he's backed out of it sensibly there as C-Mac, and he's still running in P9 at the moment, just ahead of Matty Pitt and Scott. Shinigami's on the back of this train of cars with Street Boy there as well. But exciting battle there in this mid-pack. But we got Glenn within half a second of Bad Banders coming over the line here to finish lap 12 of the race. Glenn still keeping the championship leader on his toes at the moment. Draga there still ahead of Dare Pixel, with Mark backing up that trio, battling over third place. There's Rexy Boy, G.C. C4 C-Mac, Matty Pitt and Scott, with Shinigami and Street Boy starting to drop off of them a little bit here at this point in the stint. I would have thought we're going to be looking at a 2-stopper tonight. I don't think the hards are going to be able to do, well, they'll have to do, what, 22 laps altogether. I reckon we're going to see a 2-stop, probably drivers getting the hards off around lap 20 maybe, and putting a set of mediums, or maybe another set of hards for the guys who started on the mediums, which was most of them, to be fair. As White Shadow there's got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, so White Shadow there's got done. Mark here still on the back of their Pixel in a battle for 4th place. Clem with DRS here down the long straight. Still a little bit too far away at the moment on Badman. We see Dare Pixel there getting ahead of Draga up into 3rd place as well. Yes, here is Mark all over the back of them as well. Mark having a little look to the inside there into turn 1, a little bit too far away at the moment. Well within a second of Batman at the moment, as he's got the slipstream and the DRS there down the straight into the stadium section again. But it's just dropped back a little bit over the course of this lap. Draga still keeping the Epics under pressure with Mark as well. And then you've got a bit of a spread out train here of cars, DRS train. Always we've got Shinigami there down the inside of Scott, and Scott there keeping it around the outside, as they're still going to be side by side around this section of the track. Shinigami trying to get around him there. Scott in the end just shoves him out of the way. Well, doesn't shove him out of the way, but just runs him out of road there a little bit. It's a long train of cars here. Shinigami once again with the slipstream, but Scott with DRS on the car in front, Matty, which is helping him be able to defend here. Although Shinigami's looking down the inside regardless, as he's going to make that move there, and he's going to make it stick there as well as Shinigami. In fact, no, he didn't, because he got a terrible, horrendous exit out of the corner and ghosted as well. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the move actually. But Scott is going to be able to make the move on Matty here into turn 1. Is he going to make this one stick? Matty trying to hang it around the outside there. Scott couldn't make the move. Matty had more momentum there around the outside and holds on to 10th place. Pretty narrowly there, but he did manage to keep onto it. C-Mac here still on C14. C14 as well within a second here of G.C. as well. A great battle here in the mid-pack. Lots of cars here packed into a short space at this moment. Now C14 is going to have a golden opportunity here on G.C. because G.C. is well out of range here on Rexy Boy. Isn't even going to have slipstream here. And C14 here with the DRS. I tell you what, G.C's got cracking straight line speed, because C14 had DRS and was pretty damn close, but wasn't able to make it work to any advantage there at all. C-Mac watching and waiting in the background will have seen that pace that Ferrari's got in a straight line. Pretty serious stuff there, C14. Going good guns here. He's got another chance to try and make the move, but C-Max now looking in the back of him as well. C40 with nowhere to go because he was going to have to go 3 wide there. C-Max on the inside, but C40 is going to try and go around the outside of G.C. here. Is he going to have this one done? G.C. once again there up the inside through that final braking zone. Now C40 is going to look to try and make the move down the start-finish straight. He's got DRS again and through into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line. Sure, this is going to be job done for the V-Carb. It is going to be job done. C40 up into 7th place as G.C. tries to go for a cutback. That's not going to happen. And C14 finally here up into 7th place on lap 16 of the race. And C-Mac watching that all unfold has actually lost time to these two whilst they were going side by side there, so must have made a bit of a mistake there through this first part of the lap. At the moment, C-Max here all over the back of G.C. once again here as G.C.'s got a fantastic run here on C4. Now, wow, that straight line speed that Ferrari's got is absolutely bonkers as C4 are trying to hold it around the outside here of G.C. and they're still nip and tucking in between the two of them. C4 with better grip, better traction, better everything apart from straight line speed, but G.C.'s managed to squeeze ahead yet again, and what a fight this is between these guys, but they're losing time to Rexy Boy, who's running off into the distance. There's a bit of carbon fibre there getting off C4 who tapped the wall there on the right hand side. Is it a serious bit of carbon fibre or is it just a tiny little piece of the car? Hopefully for him it's not a large component, but it does look like, I think he's missing his front right end plate. Yes, he is. So that was a big part, big damage there from C4. Is he going to come into the pits and get that replaced? No, he's staying out for the time being. In the meantime, we got Matty Pitt coming in, and so is Scott as well. So 2 drivers coming in at the end of lap 16, presumably putting us ahead a set of hard tyres on, which they'll be able to go to the end on. And we see quite a lot of drivers coming in actually at the end of lap 16. So they're all putting hard tyres on, and they should all be able to go to the end of the race from here. So that's their final pit stops done. All going for the undercut and all coming in at the same time. So it's not really worked how I think they would have wanted it to. Scott also serving his 10-second penalty whilst he was in the box as well. But in the meantime, the battle out the front. These two have had it to themselves here, Badman and Glenn. And they're still separated by barely anything at the moment. As we approach the final part of this race, we've got T moving ahead of Shinigami up into 8th place. Oh, and there's a bit of bodywork there flying off one of the cars. Shinigami, they're losing out to his teammate there, Pixel, as well, up into 9th place. Now Jargus looking to try and feast on the scraps here as well. Up the inside of Shinigami he goes, as Shinigami there trying to go late on the brakes, but keeping it around the outside there. He's gone off, he's gone wide. Shinigami there's got damage there, I think, as Mark there moving through up into 11th place as well. Shinigami is really struggling here on lap 17. Seems to have picked up some very debilitating damage there on the car as Glenn is coming into the pits here at the end of lap 17. So he's going for the undercut here on Badman. Obviously the final pit stop of the race here for him, and Badman will I assume be coming in, well, he's got to come in soon after to try and cover off the undercut, but Glenn certainly going for it here as Rexy Boy coming into turn 1. As Glenn's just coming out of the pits now. It's going to be close here, but I think Rexy Boy's got him. No, Glenn's got him. So Glenn has come out just ahead of Rexy Boy on his fresh tyres and will now look to try and pull away from Rexy Boy and get himself out of DRS as soon as he possibly can here. So Glenn now is in a prime position to execute the undercut, being that he's come out in clean air. He can now work at that deficit that he's got to Badman, with Badman still yet to make a pit stop. Doesn't have to make a pit stop, he could go to the end, but he's going to have 10 lap older tyres than Glenn, so Glenn's going to be lapping a heck of a lot quicker than him in these closing laps of the race. If he doesn't, he'd probably be losing about 1.5 seconds a lap. So I would be very surprised if Batman doesn't come in. So Badman here coming around the final corner. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he's staying out. So maybe Badman's going to try and do a one stop here. Maybe he's going to try and go to the end of the race. That would be a very audacious move here from the Haas driver, but he reckons he can do it maybe. I just don't see why he would stay out for 2 more laps after Glenn if he wasn't planning on doing another stop, because you lose track position. You know, you get undercutted enormously, unless of course he's going for the extra delta. Maybe he's accepted that he's going to lose the lead and he's now going for that tyre delta to try and attack at the end. Could be what he's trying to do here. But we see Rexy Boy coming into the pits, putting a fresh set of medium tyres on. Their Pixel's also in. I think Rexy Boy started on the hard, so that's why he's had to go an extra couple of laps and put the mediums on. Likewise, their Pixel, I think, is in a similar position. But Glenn is absolutely eating into that gap. The gap's 15 seconds between Badman and Glenn. It was about 18 and a half when Glenn came in. That's a lap and a half where Glenn has gained 3.5 seconds. He's gaining 2 seconds a lap on Badman at the moment. He would have caught him within about 7 or 8 laps, and he'll be able to try and make that move well before we get to the end of the race. Badman surely got to think about coming in here. He'll have a 2-lap delta on Glenn. He'll probably be about 5 seconds behind him on the track. So it could be worth doing for Badman, but is he going to come in? No, he's not. Badman surely committing himself to a one stop here, you would think. As we see G.C. on the back of C-Mac here as they come down the long back straight. Drago being dragged along with them as well. As Glenn there with the fastest lap of the race. That's no surprise at all to see that, as Drauga's moved ahead of G.C. up into 4th place, and G.C. into the pits here at the end of lap 19. But C-Mac and Drago here battling over 3rd and 4th places. Drago can go to the end of the race. C-Mac's still got a pit. Drago they're making a move quite easily. They're up into 3rd place. Drago looking very good for a podium tonight. Best of the rest after the 2 runaways. S14 there's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Mark now looking around the outside here of Street Boy coming down towards the end of the straight. Is he going to have this one done? I think he might well do. Yep, Mark's there up into 5th place. That is job done there for him. And Badman into the pits here at the end of lap 20. So he's now finally coming in to get a fresh set of tyres on. He'll have 3 lap fresher tyres than Glenn. We're going to have 9 laps left to go here in this race as we approach the closing stages here for this Miami Grand Prix here at Purple Sector. So Badman over the coming into turn 1. Glenn coming into turn 1. Where's Badman? He's coming out of the pits now, so he's going to come out in a clear 2nd place. As C-Mac now into the pits here at the end of lap 20. So Glenn's gap to Badman 7.5 seconds at the moment. Badman with 3 lap fresher tyres with 9 laps left in the race. I think on paper Glenn should be about half a second slower than Badman. Over 9 laps you'd expect Badman to get within about 3 seconds, but I think, barring any catastrophes here, I think Badman might have just played the wrong strategy and given Glenn the win here. Obviously Badman's been leading the race for most of it. Glenn's been on his rear end, but I think Glenn coming in those 3 laps earlier may have bagged the race here. It's a long way to go yet. Anything can happen. I mean, it's still all to play for. As Matty here is on the back of Rexy Boy in the battle for 6th place. Here they come down the long straight in the middle sector. But he's way too far back to even think of a move there. Is Matty at the moment. I just got to once again reinforce my apologies from earlier on. My cough is really causing me some tremendous problems at the moment. My voice is absolutely killing me. Need to have some strepsils and some lozenges, I think. dear. But Badman's still reeling in Clen bit by bit here. 6.5 seconds is the gap here between these two. As Matty here is all over the back of Rexy Boy in the fight for 6th place as well. Rexy Boy seems to have really good straight line speed. Matty isn't able to get anywhere near him at the end of the straight. C-Mac there getting ahead of Scott up into P10. Round the outside, he's done that one. There on his 4-lap pressure tyres. Nicely done there from C-Mac. Out the front, the gap is continuing to come down at quite a rate. G.C. has just crashed out of the race. So we're now down to 12 drivers here in this one. The safety car has not been deployed. So they're going to get it done under double waved yellows or a VSC, something of the similar. Let's see if we can try and work out where G.C. stacked it. I think I was at the chicane. I think he's probably hit that inside wall on the entry to the chicane, which it takes your left front wheel off when you do that. I did that once in career mode on the previous F1 game on F1 24. So we're seeing a couple of drivers coming into the pits for fresher tyres, those with nothing to lose who had gaps and maybe feeling that they'd have a good chance of attacking the drivers ahead. With everyone being concertinaed up on fresh tyres, we see Street Boys come in, so is C. Faulkner. And in fact, their Pixel's coming in as well. I wonder if the leaders are going to still come in. Seeing as they haven't passed the pits since the safety car was deployed, I wonder if Clen and Badman and those guys are going to come in, or whether they're going to stick with it here, because the gap's 3.5 seconds here between Clen and Badman. In fact, the safety car's already subsided, the VSC's already subsided, so we're not going to see any sort of impromptu pit stops, I don't think. But the gap, I tell you what, has come down enormously here between Clen and Badman on this lap. It's come down by about 2 seconds. I reckon Clen's made a mistake, because I don't think the gap would have come down that much just based on the tyre delta. I think Clen might have had some kind of issue. But Badman is really bringing this gap down rapidly at the moment. And this does not look like a 3-lap tyre delta. This looks like something a bit more serious than that. I mean, he's absolutely flying at this point, is Badman. He is really flowing along. I wonder if Clen's got any answer here to the pace of the Haas at the moment. If he's got anything in the tank, he needs to try and deploy it now. But Badman is on a mission here, that's for sure. Gap 2.1 at the moment. They've both got almost an identical amount of ERS left to use at the moment. Gap's about 2 seconds here between Clen and Badman as they come down the long back straight. But Badman hasn't gained as much on this lap as he has on the previous laps. So maybe now Clen's starting to respond a little bit here. He's still gained about 7 or 8 tenths here on Clen over that last lap, but didn't come down by as much on that one. But Clen's got to try and use these back markers to his advantage here with DRS and all that stuff. He will be able to try and make use of it. But I can't see Clem being able to defend this one. Badman has been closing in at such a rate here. So it looks like Badman did get ahead of Clen. He was all over the back of him before we had that momentary outage there on the network. I think my internet's just gone out. I don't know if somebody unplugged it. I will have to investigate the problem afterwards, but nonetheless, about to start the final lap of the race. So I mean, it was looking very likely that Badman was going to get that move done, wasn't it? Had much fresher tyres, had been charging after Clen without any real issues, and I predicted that Clen had enough of a gap to hold on with Badman only having 3 lap fresher tyres. But I think on this F125 game, the tyre delta makes much more of a difference than what it did on the F124 game, and we've seen that case in point here. Badman hunted him down, made light work of overtaking him, and has got a 2-second lead already here on the final lap of the race. So it's looking very much like we're going to see the championship leader extending his gap to 22 points in the standings after tonight. Apologies to those of you who are watching this back afterwards that we missed out 3 laps due to the internet turning itself off. Bit of a shame, but hey, these things happen. As S14 moved ahead of T up into 10th place, and in fact T's lost out to Pixel as well here. So Pixel and T are side by side here coming down the start-finish straight. As they come into turn 1 there, there's T a little bit too far away there on Pixel into turn 1. Badman over the line here to take the win here tonight at Miami, and he extends his championship lead to 22 points over Clen with a great win there. These two in a league of their own, completely untouchable from the rest. So Badman and Clen 1 and 2. It's going to be Badman, sorry, not Badman, Drauga best of the rest, should I say, in 3rd place. Here he comes over the line. Well done to Drauga. But no one was in the league of Badman and Clen here tonight. It's going to be Mark actually 3rd place on the penalties, ahead of Drauga in 4th. C-Max coming out at the final corner. It's going to be 5th place here for C-Mac, ahead of Rexy Boy in 6th. Matty Pitt over in 7th place. In fact, Street Boy gets Matty on the penalties, so Street Boy 7th, Matty in 8th. Scott's going to end up 9th place here in the end, but not the night that Scott would have been wanting, I'm sure. And then after Scott, it'll be Dare Pixel, who's coming round the final few corners now. Dare Pixel will finish this one in P10. As here he comes through the final part of the lap. C Fortner over to finish in 11th place, with T over in 12th place, and that is that for the Miami Grand Prix here at the Powerball Sector F1 League. Apologies for my voice. Well, I shouldn't really apologise, it's not actually my fault, but yeah, I want to be the bigger person and offer my sincerest regrets over my not fully functional vocals tonight. But thanks to everybody for watching this back, and if you did enjoy, then that makes me very, very happy indeed. And we'll see you all in the next one.